Alright, what is up YouTube? I am back with another video, and as you can see, I am on Tier Maker today. I had made a video on Tier Maker before, a couple months back. It was my second half predictions, and we're back here today, but instead of doing predictions, I am just going to be grading each Premier League team and how they did this year. And I just won't be grading them based on the Premier League. I'll be grading them if they were in any European competitions, and also I could have teams who finished lower than other teams higher on here because I'm not just going to be grading them like where they finished. I'm also going to be grading them like what was expected of them. So what was the expectation this year? So that's what the main thing is going to be. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. Burnley. So they ended up finishing 17th place. And yeah, I have to stick them in mid. The reason why I have to stick them in mid is just because, I mean, as a Burnley fan, you probably expect to be higher, and even me as a neutral, I expected them to be higher because there's been past seasons before where they were, I think, in the top 10 or really close towards the top 10. So the fact that they just were just above relegation zone, I know they finished how many points above? Ended up being 11 points above. So I know they finished 11 points above, but yeah, it's still a miss season. Wolves. Yes, they finished higher, but like I said, we expect Wolves to be way higher than 13th place. I mean, just the other year they were competing for top 4, top 5, European competitions. And the fact that they went way down the table this year to 13th place under Newcastle, Leeds, Aston Villa. I mean, yeah, that was a fluff season. Yes, you could say that's because they lost a couple of their players, especially their main man, Jimenez, but still, I don't think that's a good enough excuse to finish 13th place. So yeah, they fluffed it, and I don't hate y'all. I love you guys, so I hope y'all can make a return, and especially as a Mexico fan, especially after seeing today's performance versus Trinidad. I really hope Jimenez can come back. Now into West Brom. West Brom ended up getting relegated, so yeah, they have to be in fluffed it. You didn't expect them to finish up higher. I mean, I expected them to get relegated, but yeah, I mean they were really off the mark. There was really no hope for them, so yeah, they fluffed it. Brighton. Brighton ended up finishing 16th place, so just above Burnley. But do I expect them to finish higher than where they were at? No, I really don't. I mean, yes, they have a decent coach and they have some decent players, so maybe in the future they could. I wouldn't be surprised if they finish higher, but this year I didn't really expect them to be anywhere higher than 15th. So, yeah, I'm going to put it as an average season. I could possibly put a mid, but I'm just going to stick to average. I feel like you would expect more of a Burnley to be higher than a Brighton. So they finished where I thought they would be, like they have been for this past couple of seasons. Next, we're on to Fulham. I thought they off. I mean, like I said, 11 points off Burnley. They did look good at times. They did cause a lot of teams some problems, and they were entertaining to watch, but they still got relegated. So yeah, that's fluffed it. Southampton, 15th place. And actually, what the hell am I talking about? No way they're going into that. They got 9-0 again. 9-0 again. Back-to-back seasons. First to Leicester, and then this year to fucking Manchester United. Wow. I mean, this team should be competing towards the mid-table, top 10, maybe even higher, especially with some of the players that they got. And the fact that they got 15th place and got 9-0 again. I mean, if I was a Southampton fan, I would be so pissed right now. I'd be asking questions, what the hell is going on? But yeah, they absolutely fluffed it. Chelsea. Now this one's gonna hurt me to my core. It breaks my heart, but I have to put it in banged in. And it's not even because I don't like y'all. I don't mind y'all, but you stole the Champions League final away from us. I mean, screw you guys. Who the hell would have thought that you guys would won the Champions League? Not me, and that's why I have you banged it. I mean, the way y'all were looking with Lampard, I didn't even think you would be in the tournament next year. And the fact that you still ended up getting top 4 and won the Champions League, and you were in the, you probably, yes, you could uh, criticize you guys for not winning the FA Cup, which you probably should have, but I mean, you still got an FA Cup to an FA Cup final, and you end up winning the bigger trophy. So I mean, yeah, that's why you banged it. As a Chelsea fan, you guys probably would have expected to compete for the title, but I'm sure y'all are buzzing with the Champions League final. So yeah, they did really well. Banger of a season. Tuchel really turned them around, and yeah, you guys. Next up, we got Leeds. I'm gonna put them in surprising. It was a great season for them, I would say, but I'm more surprised about what they did because for me, I would have had them if I were to predict where they were gonna be at the beginning of the season. I would have had them outside of relegation zone. I think they have a good side, so I would have thought that they would have been relegated, but I would have had them towards like 15th, 14th, not inside top 10. So yeah, for me, they surprised me, and yeah, that's why they're in the surprise category. Next up, Leicester City. Great season. The only reason why they're not in banged it for me is because they bottled top four again. And the reason why they're in great season is because they finally won the FA Cup. They finally won the FA Cup. So that's why it's a great season. But yeah, they still ended up bottling top four, which at one point they were ahead of Man United. So for me, I would be really pissed about that. But I mean, I'm sure y'all are just happy with the FA Cup and at least competing in the Europa League. But the fact that you guys did this like the second, third time, I mean, what's going on there? But anyways, great season for y'all. FA Cup, top five. So yeah, it's just a great season. Manchester City. Now you guys are probably going to be surprised about this. I have to put him in great season. Like I said, this is off expectation. Expectation wise, you Manchester City are expected to compete for the league, win the league, win the Carabao Cup, compete in the FA Cup. What we didn't do, and that's the only reason why we're not in banged it, is win the only trophy we haven't won, which is the Champions League. I mean, like I said, Chelsea ended up taking that away from us, but what an opportunity this was to actually get our hands around that trophy the first time in our history. And I know a lot of Man City fans, which irritates me, are just happy with getting to the final, but this was a hell of an opportunity. I'll forever be mad at Pep for bottling that, but yeah, that's the only reason why we're not in banged is because I mean we did it. Yeah, winning the Prem is not easy, so that's why we got put Manchester City in great season, but still the fact that they didn't win the Champions League, I mean, yeah, that's why it's not banged it. Manchester United, it's just an average season for them. Yes, they end up getting second place. I don't think I'm being biased here, but they didn't win anything. It is starting to look up. I mean, especially now that they just signed Jadon Sancho, it is looking like they may be better. Still 12 points off Manchester City, so nowhere near winning the title. They lost the Europa League final. So for me, that's why they had to go on average. You could argue that, maybe put him in great, but I mean, it wasn't a great season for them. Let's be honest here. Next up, we got Sheffield. Now this is an easy one. I mean, last year they had if I would have made this last year, I would have put them in surprise because I think they ended up getting 8th place, and for a while they were in that like top 5, 6 area, but they just missed it, getting 8th place, I believe, last year. And the fact that they finished way lower than that, end up getting regulated dead last is really disappointing. It's sad to see because I actually like Sheffield. They won everybody's hearts last year by finishing that high up the table. And I can't believe Rory Jennings, another YouTuber, I'm sure y'all have heard about him if you watch videos like me, but if you haven't, go check him out. He actually predicted this. He was probably the only guy to predict that Sheffield United were going to get relegated. So, yeah, that's crazy. And, yeah, that's why they're in fluffed it. Newcastle. So, as I've been looking at the table, I am so damn surprised that Newcastle ended up finishing 12th. And that's why I have to put it on average because during Christmas time when I made that other tier maker and I was predicting where each team was going to finish, I honestly thought Newcastle were going to be very close to being caught and possibly being relegated this year, and a lot of fans did too. Like I remember True Geordie having some huge concerns, thinking that this was finally going to be the year that his team got relegated, but they ended up doing what they do every year. Towards the end, they pull something out their ass and end up saving themselves, finishing 12th place, which is blowing my mind right now. So, yeah, for me, that's an average season for them. They did what they typically do. Liverpool. So I know probably y'all are probably thinking I was going to put them in meh, but I mean I'm going to have to put them in average just because yes, what's expecting them is to compete for the Prem and do a lot better than what they did in the Champions. But they have an excuse this year. I mean, they played without their defense for like 70% of the season, and yeah, they were just getting injuries left and right, and they still ended up qualifying for Champions League, getting third place when there was like, and I remember when there was like 5 games left in the season. Everybody was writing them off, thinking that there's no way they'll get top four, but they ended up rallying at the end, and so yeah, that's why I have to put them in average. Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace ended up finishing 15th, no 14th, and yeah, that's just a myth for me. I expect them to be a little bit closer towards 10th, mid-table around there. I'm not saying I expected them to be inside the top 10, but a lot closer than what they did. I watched a handful of their games, and sometimes they look decent, but most of the time it was just like they were just meh. So yeah, that's why I have to put him there. Everton. Now I want to put him here, but I'm gonna put it in meh, just because. I mean, it wasn't like a fluffed it season, but I remember towards the beginning of the season. I mean, like after 5 games of the Premier League started, everybody was saying, "Oh, Everton has a chance of winning the league. Oh, Ancelotti could possibly win the league." I never believed that, but they did. It did get my hopes up, not my hopes up, but they did win me over, thinking that they were going to finish top four, top five, at least getting European football, and they had some huge opportunities to do that. I mean, there were so many times they had games in hand, and they could have just, if they just would have won a couple more, or drew a couple more, that they could be possibly in at least the Europa League. And the fact that they fluffed such a huge opportunity this year is crazy for me. And I roomed with the Everton fan this year, and yeah, as each game went on, the his confidence just went down and down and down and down. And by the end of the season, he was just happy it was over. So yeah, a meh season for Everton. Aston Villa. Aston Villa ended up getting 11th place. They did look good at times. They were the team who beat Liverpool 7-2 with Van Dijk. So finished much higher than where they did. I mean, they did definitely have some opportunities too, but yeah, it's just an average season for Aston Villa. Spurs. Now you may think I hate Spurs, and it's because I do. They irritate me, but I think I'm being unbiased here when I say that they fluffed this season, because I mean they weren't near top. Well, I don't know. When I think of Tottenham, I think of a team that should be competing, at least with Leicester and West Ham, right? Like they should be finishing higher than those teams at least, right? No, there was another trophyless season. I called Mourinho was gonna get sacked. He did right before the Carabao Cup. I mean, this club is just a mess right now, and who the hell knows what's going on over there. So yeah, that's why they're in fluff, dude. Arsenal, meh. Now even though they did end up finishing under Spurs, who I was just dogging earlier. Like I said, I never expected much from Arsenal, anyways. I mean, it's 8th place is where I really expected him to finish around. And for a while, for the beginning part of the year, I actually thought they would finish lower, just because they were like in 15th, 14th place was like no hope. But they kind of turned it around. They got inside top 10. Yeah, they're in mad because, I mean, I didn't expect much anyways. West Ham. Surprise. Now, yes, they did end up. Yeah, so they did end up qualifying for Europa League, which is great. But the reason why I put them in surprise instead of great is just because, I mean, no one really expected them to be there. I mean, I'm more surprised by them than really any other team on the list, other than Sheffield. But other than that, they surprised the hell out of me. I know a lot of people who had them getting relegated this year, and so the fact that they turned it around, got just Lingard on loan, and absolutely killed it is just it's amazing to watch. And so yeah, that's why I'm surprised. But I guarantee you, I'm calling it now. Next year I'll be having West Ham in great season because I have a feeling they're gonna make bigger moves than what they did this year. But yeah, other than that, this is my uh, tier list on how each team did this year, and I think I did pretty well. Yeah, I think I got this spot on. But I mean, yeah, maybe I could have put Brighton and meh, and maybe West Ham in great season. But other than that, unless you're a Spurs or Man United fan, I think you guys are the only ones who would really disagree with me. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments. For future videos, I want to make a video about transfer rumors going on, particularly with Manchester City. And yeah. Oh, yours are technically today since it's 2 a.m. over here. Yeah, come on the lads. But anyways, other than that, please like. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you would change. And yeah, other than that, see you guys later.